Hello and good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking out time from your busy schedules to join our Arya API's webinar. In today's API webinar, we will be giving you a guided walkthrough of one of our key offerings, the Bank Statement Analyzer API, or the BSA for short, as we call it. Before we move forward, I would like to introduce the speakers of the webinar. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Tushar Mathur, Enterprise Sales Manager at Arya, and along with me is Mansi Shah, who is a Senior Research Scientist at Arya. Mansi will take you through how the BSA works and also provide a few glimpses into the technology that it was built on, and of course, answer your queries at the end of the session. Now, allow me to introduce the company. We are Arya.ai. We are an AI PaaS, which is platform as a service for enterprises and financial institutions, where we offer a suite of APIs endowed with power of AI for customers to be able to easily use. There are 50 and growing number of APIs that the platform offers currently, allowing our customers to select and use as per their own use cases and processes. The platform is built to be easy and rapid to use, secure and reliable to be able to support the most critical of our customers' business processes. The journey of Arya.ai started in 2013 under the leadership of our co-founders Dikshit Malra and Vinay Kumar, who both hail from IIT Bombay alumni. Under the vision of our co-founder Dikshit Marla, who heads the API vertical, we have curated a suite of 50 plus APIs which are currently present on our platform and cater to a variety of operations for enterprises and financial institutions. Our talented team has created APIs which cater to a variety of categories like predictive analysis, onboarding processes, digitization, healthcare, computer vision, and NLP. Today, we have chosen to focus on one of our key offerings under predictive analysis, which is the Bank Statement Analyzer API. Our team had specifically curated this module, keeping our BFSI clients in mind and their repetitive requirements of determining the financial health of their customers. The Bank Statement Analyzer has the capability to efficiently scan transactions from a wide range of bank statements and transform the unprocessed data into a detailed analytical report. Whether it is highlighting significant patterns or unusual occurrences, our analytical tool provides all the necessary metrics to validate the given bank statement and also provides a deep insight into the customer's financial health. Given the sophistication of our module, we have been approached to ease underwriting processes and even for due diligence for lending purposes. Thanks to the effectiveness of the module, we have deployed it into many organizations domestically and internationally as well. We have we currently have customers based in South Africa, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Philippines, Indonesia, and Singapore, apart from India. We have just started piloting this in the US and have received a very exciting response from there. To move on forward, now I would like to hand it over to my colleague Mansi, who will give you a more deep dive understanding of the BSA's function.
Yeah, so I'll just share my screen to quickly portray the platform that we are demonstrating today. I'll just wait for a while so that the screen is hopefully loaded on your screens. Yeah, so Arya APIs is a platform which has been created by us over here, where we have taken up the mission to present and provide a whole set of APIs which can automate your day-to-day functionalities and operations for any given business is in India or abroad, which caters to every different scenarios. Like Tushar mentioned here, that we have categories for customer onboarding, for analysis, predictive analysis, digitization of some documents, and so on. So these are all the APIs which are readily available for our users to just sign up on the platform and get access to each of these APIs and use it to their best requirements. And given that, today's focus for this webinar will be bank statement analyzer in India, as well as for other countries as well. So to start with, basically what we have here is a robust API which will take into account any given bank statement for South Africa per se, and given the statement, it will try to analyze and assess and give information on what is the analysis of the transactions, of the financial behavior of that particular account holder. Are there any interesting caveats to look at, or any trend analysis, and everything which is helpful for any company to understand their borrowers or lenders or any person who is of financial interest. In this given statement analyzer, we will basically upload a given bank statement. So I will just quickly showcase a bank statement which I will be uploading. So this is the sample bank statement that is being uploaded for today's sample, which is a standard bank statement from South Africa for around 3 months of data. And this is what we will be uploading over here. The given API can give the report in two kinds of formats, which is PDF or Excel sheet format. We will first do a quick presentation of the Excel format. So I'll just upload the statement. So here, once we have uploaded the statement, it will take a couple of minutes to process the whole statement, and the Excel report will be downloaded, which we can showcase and go through. Meanwhile, we will also basically walk you through the PDF report subsequently, and we will then take up any questions that our audience has in the form of what are the requirements, or what are the way the API works, and so on. Having said that, while we wait for the statement report to be generated, I would also like to mention just briefly that currently we have the bank statement analyzer API for various countries, including South Africa, India, Nigeria, Kenya, Mauritius, Egypt, Oman, Singapore, Indonesia, and recently also given up in New Zealand and USA as well. So these are all the countries to which we cater for the bank statement analyzer. As you can see, the report was generated successfully. So I'll just quickly open my the report which is generated. I'll just reshare the screen so that the Excel is also visible. I hope my Excel screen is now visible, where we have the Excel report loaded. So I'll just zoom in. And so this is the basic Excel report which is generated, which has, the basic information of the account, which includes the account number, bank name, start date and end date of the period and the duration, along with the opening and closing balance, the average balance, overall amount for debits and credits, as well as the number of transactions which were read from the given statement. After this overview, in the next sheet, we have the quick analysis or quick list of all the transactions which were present in the statement. So along with the date, particulars, debit or credit amount, and we categorize it as a particular, is it a transfer, is it an interest, is it a salary credit, is it a check credit or check debit, and so on. So these are the categories that our system automatically categorizes each of the transactions into. And along with it, obviously, we will have the balance for that particular given transaction particulars. Next, we will have the monthly analysis. So here we have a quick analysis on, I'll just zoom in. I hope this is better visible. So we have for each month on which the statement, we have the opening and closing balance and the percent change in the monthly balance. And then we have the lowest and highest balance, as well as the end of day balances and the total amount of debit or credit transactions which happen, which is there again for each of the months. Along with it, we also have the graphical representation for each of these months, where we have the monthly average balance, which is negative in the month of Feb here, and then goes on to a highest in March and so on. So this gives a basic trend analysis as well on, what are the number of transactions and the amount of transactions which the statement has been active in each month. Then we have the daily balances on for each of the month, the opening and closing balance for each day of the month for which the statement was provided. So here is all that information. Next we have is one of the most interesting aspects of the statement analysis, that we have the inflow and outflow transactions. So this section basically groups together across all the different transactions. It groups together which are the transactions which are similar in nature in terms of the amount which was transferred, or the recipient or the source of that transaction for which it is tagged as similar. Like here it shows that this is an internet banking transfer, probably from the same account, and hence it is all grouped together. And this is where it shows the total number of transactions for each month in this, and along with it the amount for that particular month. So this is for inflow transactions. Same goes for outflow or debit transactions as well, which were outflowing from the account, which is, again, this is a summarized view, and you also have the detailed view where you have any particular bank charges which are being charged, or any check purchases, or even any fees. This will also showcase any of the loan EMIs or rent transactions, or even credit card payments and so on. All those outgoing transactions, if present, will be grouped together, like shown over here. Like this is a credit card purchase on apple.com, which is all grouped together, and so on. So these are the kind of transactions in outflows which will get grouped together, and you will have a summarized view as well. So here you will have the summarized view for each month, what is the total of the transactions average and the number of transactions for each month for that particular group of transactions. So this is the inflow and outflow. Next, we have the recurring debits and recurring credits. Now, this is a smaller statement period of around 2 months. However, if it is a longer statement period, out of these inflows and outflows, we will further fine tune and divide it into a shorter group of transactions which are recurring in a pattern, say on the 4th week of every month, or on the 10th of every month, or even quarterly recurring. So all these are credits or debits which are recurring at a given particular timeline and time pattern, will be showcased in recurring credits and recurring debits. Next, we have saving analysis, where ideally it defines the scenario where if you have a credit transaction and immediately we have a similar amount being debited to a particular different bank account, which shows that a person is probably trying to save that particular amount into a separate account for their own requirements. So these are the kind of analysis that we would capture. Again, if there are any non-revenue transactions, those would be captured here. If there are any EMIs or loan payments which are captured, they will be showcased in the loan analysis. If there are transactions which are bounced or returned, they will also be showcased in the bounce transactions. Next, we have the all-time top transactions. So throughout the statement, which were the top 5 debit and top 5 credit transactions which occurred in the given statement period. Next, we have the monthly top 5 transactions for debit as well as credit, which occur on a monthly basis. So these are all the given analysis that we have for a particular given statement in terms of the Excel analysis, that report which we were mentioning. Meanwhile, now that we've seen this, we will quickly jump to the PDF report, which will basically be similar to what we've already seen in the Excel, but it will be in a PDF format, which I'll just quickly upload the same statement for a PDF output. Meanwhile, I do see that there are a few questions. I'll see if I can take it up now, or if we can discuss those at the end of the session as well. So there is one statement, one question, which is what file formats the reports can be generated in other than PDF and Excel. So this for this question, what we are currently on the API, we have 2 different formats, like I mentioned, PDF and Excel. Apart from that, if you integrate it via the API, which we will discuss subsequently, you can also get the response in a JSON format, which can be directly integrated with your IT systems and information databases, where you can directly integrate that information into your systems via API. So I hope that answers your question. And next we have, can the system take scanned bank statement uploads? Yes, definitely. We do have provision for taking in scanned bank statements as well. As long as they are in a decent quality scan, we are able to perfectly generate reports for scanned bank statements as well. So thank you for those. I believe we now have our report generated for the PDF, which I will just quickly showcase here. So this is the PDF report for the same bank statement for which we just saw the Excel. Here again, the basic information remains the same, given the account holders summary and the account summary. Next, here we also have a balance trend across the statement period. So in a graphical as well as a basic information, where what was the highest and lowest balance throughout the given statement period. So all these peaks and lows, and what was the average balance which was maintained, and what was the maximum credit and debit amount, which was, and again also the change in the balance on a monthly basis. So this shows that there's been always been a huge change on a month-on-month basis. So this is a highly volatile or an active account per se. Next, again, we have the transaction overview on a monthly basis. So the monthly average balance, the count of transactions, number of transactions where the credit was greater than the debit during that month. So almost 2 out of 4 months is only where the credit was greater than the debit in that particular month. And overall debit to credit ratio is almost the same. Whatever are the overall credits are almost equal to the overall debits during this period of the statement. Next, we have the transactions categorized by size. So if we take a small size of transactions for below an amount of 2,000, and if large transactions are any transactions above the amount of 10,000, we have segregated into small, medium, and large. And here we can see almost more than 95% of the transactions are all in the large category. Next, we also classify the debit and credit transactions based on the mode of payment, whether they are check payments or charges or bank charges or transfers and so on, and give a brief distribution of those as well. Next, again, the inflow and outflow analysis, which is similar to what we had seen in the Excel, which groups the given list of transactions similar in nature, and gives a summarized view of those transactions for inflows or the credit transactions, as well as outflows or the debit transactions. So here we have outflows, which are again interest charges or even check transactions and so on, which are all grouped together over here. So quickly, just going ahead, we would also have next will be the top 5 monthly debits and credits. So here we have for each month, what are the 5 debit transactions and top 5 credit transactions, with the quick understanding of on a monthly basis which are the top most spaces where the customer is spending or receiving their transactions from. And next, we would have the recurring credits and debits, which are again not a part of this statement because it is a very relatively small statement period. But given any statement period for 4 months, 5 months, or 6 months, or so on, it will definitely even detect and show the recurring debits or credits, which are basically the transactions which recur at a periodic amount of time. So yeah, this is the PDF report as well for a quick analysis. Now that we have done this, I think we do have a few more questions, which I will quickly just answer. Yes. So we have one question. Do we need a dedicated server to deploy the BSA API? So here I would like to just quickly give an overview of how you can implement this in your system. So obviously you can use this application itself to upload your statement and download your PDF or Excel reports as required. However, this is also possible via an API integration where we give a particular, once you have subscribed to a particular API, you will get your API token and your API endpoint, and all the documentation will be provided here for your technology team to integrate, where they just need to pass the document in the request, and in the response they will get the report back, which can be stored in your system. So ideally this API is hosted by by Arya APIs, and you need not have a dedicated server on your end. You just need to consume our API to sort of implement this in your system, and you just have to use our exposed API for your requirements. So that is the whole idea which we have. And yeah. So next we have one more question that do we have the access to the data of the bank statements? No, so we do not store any data on our end. All these statements, even the ones which I uploaded right now, was uploaded and processed in real time, and the report was generated in real time. Once the report has been generated, we do not have access to the report or the given bank statement on our end. It is completely strict and adhering to the data privacy guidelines and all the privacy guidelines for any financial information and sensitive information which is being shared here. So we do not store any bank statements, and we just process it in real time when provided to our API, and we give the response in real time, and that is it. So even if you want to get access to your already generated reports, there is no facility for that. You will, if you do not have that report, you will have to probably re-upload the statement and get the report downloaded again. So we completely do not have access to any of the data for the bank statements. So I hope that answers. Next, we have a question on, could the system read Arabic? That is something which is not currently in ready state. So per se, we do process statements from Middle Eastern banks as well, but we do only process the English language statements there as well. We do not have the current capabilities for reading or analyzing Arabic language statements. Next, again, there is a question, where would the data be stored? So like I mentioned, we do not store any data. At the same time, having said that, if you require, the data is all stored on your end or wherever your system is, you will just be using our services as an API. So it is a software service which is being provided as an API, which will just use the information to give you the required result, but we do not store any data on our end. So that is the answer for that. Would the system provide the total sales routed through the account? How would you sift the transactions? So this is more of a specific scenario where of inflows and outflows, I would say, that where you will, give the particular scenario where you want that, okay, if this is a corporate account bank statement which you're processing, we will definitely be sifting through all those transactions and providing the outflows and inflows based on the purchaser or remitter or the person who has made the transaction. So they definitely grouped together on those bases, which should basically help with getting a approximate idea of the sales or the vendor purchases which are made by any particular corporate account as well. Next, we have a question. So is the technology built for us as in the customer? So yes, this technology is already ready and built for these various countries which have showcased, where we support different bank statement formats across a given country as well. So say for South Africa also, today we support almost 8 to 10 major banks across South Africa, including Standard Bank, ABSA, and FNB, and so on. So we do support different bank statements and different templates of those bank statements as well, where we have trained our model to analyze and understand the differences in the nuances which are being captured. Even though the statements are typically of the same country, they do have different templates and different formats. So our technology is readily built for all of these countries. Having said that, if you do have a specific requirement, or if you do have a particular insight which you would like to get incorporated in addition to what we've already showcased, we would be happy to have a conversation on that as well. In addition to that, there's a continuation question: is there a demo that we can use? So definitely this platform or this website is our ready to use API platform, where you can create your own account. We will be shortly sharing the link of this platform in chat and over email as well post this webinar, where you can sign up, you can create your account. So here, basically, where you see my name, this is the account details. So there will be a login button here instead, and you can just log in or sign up and create your account and use any of these APIs. You just have to create your account and you get credits to use for any of these APIs directly for you to explore on your given documents and bank statements as well. So that is the question answer. Apart from that, we have one more question, which is, will you provide output in JSON format as well? So yes, we do definitely provide the output in JSON format, where in here in the documentation, which we have mentioned that you can provide what is the report type that you want, which will basically have the preference, which is PDF, JSON, or Excel. So your report type can be PDF, JSON, or Excel, and we will accordingly give out the corresponding response. So that answers that question. And apart from that, we have a question that, is it possible to get the top 5 vendors to whom payments are made? So also for the top 5 customers. So yes, I think this is in line or in extension of the earlier question where, if it is a corporate statement, definitely we can, look into the top 5 groups of transactions of remitters or creditors who have made the top 5 transactions for a particular given statement period. And so, yes, that is definitely possible to do that as well and incorporate it. So, yeah, I think that is all the questions that I had that we have currently. If anyone has any further questions, please feel free to quickly ask them or in us, or even otherwise, you can always visit our website. So this api.arya.ai is the website that I was mentioning, where we have all the APIs ready to use listed, even region-wise. So we have Southeast Asia, Middle East, United States, Africa. All these APIs are all ready to use and available on our platform for you to try out and experiment and explore with. Having said that, we will just quickly wait for any more questions from the audience, and we'll see if we have anything else that to be covered. Tushar, please feel free to add anything from your end as well, if required.
Yeah, thank you, Mansi.
Sorry, Tushar, there's just one more question. Would it be possible to get the recorded video sent to the email address? Definitely. So post this webinar, we will be sending out the video, recorded video of this webinar to all the registered and participants here, and that will definitely be done as well. So thank you. Yeah, sorry, Tushar, over to you.
Okay, everybody. Thank you very much for attending. You can see, as I mentioned, if you have any further queries or you would like to connect with us for like a quick demo, you can write to us at hello@arya.ai. And as the process that was shown by Mansi right now, you can also register on our platform directly to see the functionality of the BSA firsthand. You can log on to api.arya.ai and subscribe to BSA API, and based on the complimentary credit that you get on signing up, you can use that for your internal testing as well. Just an important note, while you are registering on the platform, I would urge excuse me, I would urge everybody to use your company credentials, because only then can assign the complimentary credits, and it's easier for us to also get in connection with you in case you have any other issues. Okay, I think we would like to call this webinar at an end. Again, thank you very much for your time, and we hope to connect with you again on our on webinars. Thank you, everyone.